Yo, what's happening? What's up, man? Another episode. Damn you two sports talk. It's your boy Ralph Sneaks. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Head over to YouTube. Subscribe. Tap the notification bell so you can get all the notified when I drop new content. Shout out to AIG Productions, man. Uh, Another ATL night, man. I ain't gonna be long with you, man. I'm just discussing the state of Team USA basketball and what I'm saying, the politics that's keeping Jaylen Brown from not only being on the team, but just the politics dealing with Jaylen Brown throughout the NBA. Team USA, first of all, let me say this. Um, Anthony Edwards, I think he could be the real X factor on this team. I think if Anthony Edwards plays with Team USA this summer, the way he played with the Minnesota Timberwolves this season, that's going to take Ant-Man to another level. Being on a worldwide stage, which Team USA basketball will be and is, they just defeated Canada, a couple of days ago, in which you had Embiid fouled out. They got to get that cleaned up. You can't have Embiid fouling out like that. You know what I'm saying? Team USA basketball, they it's officiated a little different. You know what I mean? You ain't as physical there. You can't be elbowing the dudes in the throat. Well, you can't do that anyway. But if you Embiid, you can't be doing that, bro. They need you to be better than that. You know what I'm saying? But back to Anthony Edwards, man, if he plays with Team USA basketball this summer, the way he played with Minnesota, that's gonna put Ant-Man on another level. That's gonna put even more eyes on him because he's not just now on the NBA stage. He's now on the worldwide stage, and this could push him and put him to another level. So I think he could be the X factor this summer. I'm not saying that other guys ain't gonna contribute, ain't gonna do their job. This, that. I mean, this Team USA. You got Devin Booker, you got Ant-Man, you got Steph, you got Bam, you got LeBron, you got KD, you got AD. You got just added Derek White to replace Kawhi Leonard. I'm not sure why. I don't even know why Kawhi Leonard was on the team from the get-go. You got Tatum. So you got guys out there, you know what I mean, that's capable of getting the job done. But I don't even know why the hell Kawhi Leonard was even on the team from the get-go, if you ask me. I think Kawhi Leonard needs a shot. I wouldn't be surprised if Kawhi Leonard retired within these next 2 years. If I'm Steve Ballmer, well, I mean, you can't do that now because I don't know if he left Team USA or Team USA sent him home. Because the headlines I saw was that Kawhi stepped away from Team USA as if it was his call and he made the choice to leave Team USA. But then when I heard Grant Hill speak, it almost sounded like Grant Hill was saying we sent him home. You know what I mean? It wasn't him leaving on his own. It was more so us sending him home because of health concerns. So I'm not sure who took the initiative. Was it Kawhi just took the initiative to say, no, I'm departing, I'm withdrawing from Team USA, I'm out? Or was it, Grant Hill and the crew make a decision to send Kawhi home because of injury concern? I'm not sure who did what. The headlines made it seem like one party said it and the other party said something else, but I don't know. But needless to say, he ain't there no more. He was replaced by Derek White. And I'm not sure why Kawhi Leonard was even there in the first place. Because if I'm Steve Ballmer and I can't get Kawhi Leonard to play for me, and I'm paying him millions and millions of dollars, and he ain't healthy enough to play for me, why the hell is this guy all of a sudden gonna try to get healthy enough to go play for Team USA for free? I don't think Team USA is paying Kawhi Leonard the money Steve Ballmer's paying. So why in the hell is he trying to get so healthy to even make a run at playing for Team USA? I get it, it's Team USA. That's probably something he wanted to do, is dream the hills or whatever. But if I was Steve Ballmer, I would shut that shit down. The same way that Golden State tried to shut down Andrew Wiggins, or did shut down Andrew, or tried. I don't know if he's out there or not, or tried to go, but they tried to shut him down from playing with Team Canada. So if you Steve Ballmer and you got Kawhi Leonard out there, who half-ass playing for you, even though you're paying him hundreds of millions of dollars. Although you chose him over Paul George, you elected to let Paul George walk to Philly and sign a max contract over there for absolutely nothing. You turned down the trade and didn't want to do business with the Golden State Warriors, which could have got you something back in return for Paul George, rather than let him walk in free agency for nothing. If you look at what you gave up to even get Paul George, to let him just eventually walk for nothing. Now you put all your chips in on Kawhi Leonard. You re-signed James Harden back over there. You bet it all in on Kawhi Leonard. You chose him over Paul George, and he half-ass playing for you. And now he all of a sudden want to try to go and get healthy enough to play for Team USA. Steve Ballmer shouldn't have even let him go out there. I don't even know why the hell he went out there. Like I said, I don't know if he departed and left Team USA on his own or they sent him home. But something going on with Kawhi knees, and I don't think that they telling us all what it is with Kawhi Leonard knees. So he need to be out there doing whatever he can in his offseason to strengthen up his knees so he can play majority of this upcoming season, because the Clippers put it all in on him. Now, I don't know why the hell they would put it all in on a guy that had bad knees. Because like I said, with the way his knees is and he ain't been able to play and he half-ass out there, I wouldn't be surprised if he called it quits in 2 years. So needless to say, he was replaced by Derek White, which I don't understand why it wasn't Jaylen Brown. Because if you was looking for defense, Jaylen Brown is essentially the same caliber player as Kawhi Leonard. He's a two-way player that can defend and score on the other end. So if you originally put Kawhi Leonard on the team, why the hell wouldn't you replace him with Jaylen Brown, which is the same player in Kawhi that you put on the team from the get-go? But instead, you replaced him with Derek White. And I'm not talking bad about Derek White, and I'm not saying Derek White can't play, because obviously Derek White is a defender. He's not the offensive player that Jaylen Brown is, but he's a defender. So if you wanted more of a defender in your Team USA, why the hell did you just go get that from the get-go instead of putting Kawhi on the team? And if you got rid of Kawhi, or whether Kawhi chose to step down and lead the team, or whatever the case was, why the hell wasn't he replaced with Jaylen Brown, which is essentially the same caliber player as Kawhi Leonard, who originally was chosen for the team? Is what I don't understand. Now, from what I heard Jaylen Brown doesn't like Nike because he was backing Kyrie when Kyrie was going through his whole situation and got dropped by Nike for the anti-Semitic tweet. And Jaylen Brown was pretty much in Kyrie's corner, backing him and supporting him through the whole situation. So I think a lot of people don't like that, which ain't got a damn thing to do with basketball. If the man can play, the man can play. Now, in my opinion, I think that the Boston Celtics and the media, not just the Celtics, it's the media too, they were trying to push Tatum in front of Brown instead of letting Jaylen Brown just naturally be Jaylen Brown and let Tatum come in behind Jaylen Brown. Because you saw what happened in the finals. Jaylen Brown did Jaylen Brown, and Tatum came in behind him, and they won the chip. Now, if they had been doing that all along and quit trying to push Jaylen Brown to the back and force Jason Tatum to the front, ain't no telling what they would have had by now. But it almost seems like they trying to push Jaylen Brown to the back and force Jason Tatum to be the face of the team, to force him to be the franchise, the guy of the, you know what I'm saying? Just let Jaylen Brown be Jaylen Brown and let Tatum come in behind him and be Tatum. If Tatum overtakes Brown, just let that naturally happen. Don't try to force Tatum in front of Brown. Just let Brown do Brown and Tatum do Tatum. And if Tatum just naturally overtakes Brown, then let that be. But don't try to pull Brown to the back and force Tatum to the front. So you got a lot of politics going on that's going against Jaylen Brown right now. Like I said, he was supporting Kyrie when Kyrie was going through it and got dropped by Nike, going through the whole anti-Semitic tweet, you know. So I think that Jaylen Brown feels like Nike, which is sponsoring Team USA. Jaylen Brown probably feels that Nike had a lot to do with him not being chosen to replace Kawhi Leonard after Kawhi Leonard left the team. But instead, they put his teammate Derek White there. So that would still give them 3 Boston Celtic players that made Team USA. You had Jason Tatum, Drew Holiday, and now Derek White. With like I said, I was all for it being Jaylen Brown, but Jaylen Brown is out there hooping in shoes with he was hooping in the reverse Grinches, the Kobe's, with no Nike check. It's several shoes that he hooped in which he had the Nike logo either not on the shoe or he had the Nike logo covered up with something else. I've seen several games with him, hooping in shoes that didn't have the Nike logo or the word Nike or Air or anything on the shoe. It was off the shoe or it was covered up and replaced by something else. So he has that going on back and forth with Nike. He feel like Nike is the reason why it's a bunch of politics against him, and he feel like that's the reason why he didn't make Team USA. Which I'm of the mindset, I don't give a damn about none of that. If you can play and you can help us win this gold medal in the Olympics for Team USA basketball, I don't give a damn about that. We'll deal with our issues behind closed doors. But right now, you are the best player available that for what we need to help us win. So I'm going to insert you there and help us win gold for Team USA. I don't give a damn about you thinking that Nike had something or whatever the issue is they got going or he got with Nike. I'm not sure why the hell they would use politics to keep him, and I feel like Jaylen Brown rather, I feel like he should be out there more. You know what I mean? I feel like he should definitely be have a signature shoe. I feel like Jaylen Brown needs to be, marketed more. I mean, he's in Boston. So it's not like he's in a market where nobody watches. He's in a playing for a legendary historical franchise in a Boston market. So it's not like we talking about he's in a smaller market, Memphis or New Orleans or Utah. He's nowhere like that. You know what I mean? He won the Eastern Conference Finals MVP as well as the NBA Finals MVP. So I'm not sure why the hell wouldn't you want a Finals MVP player on Team USA? That's pretty much the same caliber player as a Kawhi Leonard, in my opinion, and he's healthy. So it's not like you was getting a guy with an injury history. You was getting a guy that was essentially the same as the player that you sent home or left or whatever the hell Kawhi did. So you got a lot of politics out there, and I think it's hurting Jaylen Brown. If I'm Jaylen Brown, I would be feeling the same way. I'm not sure what the relationship between him and Jason Tatum is. I really don't hear much of Jason Tatum speaking up on Jaylen Brown's behalf about the situation. If he has spoken up about it, I ain't heard nothing about it. Maybe he have, maybe he had. If he has, I ain't heard nothing about it. So I'm not sure what type of relationship they got off the court. I don't know if they cool or they just got a business relationship and they just only deal with each other during the NBA season. It's time to be teammates and play ball, and they got the same common goal in mind is to win games and get to the finals and win one, which they just did this past season. I'm not sure how much contact they had with each other in the off season. And I haven't heard Jason Tatum speak up on Jaylen Brown's behalf about being snubbed for Team USA. I really ain't heard a lot of players on the team speak up about that. But that's their opinion. And I think it's too much politics going on, man. I'm gonna touch on go a little bit deeper on the politics, but I'm just gonna basically stay on Team USA. But another episode. I'm gonna go a little bit deeper into politics and sport, not just the NBA, but sports period. But in this particular case, I think it's hurting Jaylen Brown because now you got the media that pretty much looking at him the same way. What I think it is, and I'm just gonna be real with you because I'll just tell you what they don't tell you on ESPN and Fox. I think Jaylen Brown is a smart enough dude that he see the bullshit and he don't go with the bullshit. That's why he supported Kyrie when Kyrie was going through this situation and got dropped by Nike. I think Jaylen Brown is a smart dude. The dude went to Cal, so he ain't no dummy. He see through the bullshit. He ciphered through it. He don't want to be a part of it, and he let it know that he don't want to be part of it, and he called it out when he see it, and he don't stand for it and he don't support it. So the people don't like that. You gotta understand, a lot of people don't like when you think for yourself. A lot of people don't like the fact that you can see the bullshit that they trying to run game on, and you can cipher your way through it, and you can call it out when you see it, and you know it when you see it, and you can recognize it. They don't like that. So I think a lot of people get the character of Jaylen Brown confused because he see the bullshit and he don't go along with it like a lot of people do. So they kind of shy away from him and they get the media to talk bad about him and not look at him in the same light as somebody else. And and you can see that the team clearly is like Jaylen Brown here and then Tatum. I mean, you can see kind of, if you pay attention to Boston Celtics basketball, you can kind of see what they trying to push. They trying to push Tatum. They trying to push Tatum to the front. They just force feed Tatum, pushing to the front, and they just trying to have Jaylen Brown be behind Tatum. But like I said a few minutes ago, if they just naturally let Jaylen Brown be Jaylen Brown and let Tatum be Tatum, if Tatum naturally pushes himself in front of Jaylen Brown, that's one thing. But we don't need the media and we don't need the team trying to push him in front of Jaylen Brown. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of this is not just politics with Team USA. A lot of this is just politics within the organization. And I know deep down inside, Jaylen Brown probably thinking like, man, I could probably have my own team somewhere else where I ain't got to deal with this. Now I'm not sure. I haven't heard him say that, but I'm just going off of body language that I see and reaction to certain things when the game's going on. But at the same time, man, it's just the politics is crazy, man. It's ridiculous. I think to a degree, well, I ain't gonna say to a degree, but it really hurts a lot that was going on because for you to have a chance to be on Team USA and represent your country and play in the Olympics, Summer Olympics, there's got to be like a gut punch to a guy, especially if you like a guy like Jaylen Brown, who has the skill set to be on the team and is not on the team. And we all know Kyrie wasn't going to be on the team either because of his situation with Nike. He got dropped from Nike. Jaylen Brown was in support of Kyrie when he got dropped from Nike. It's probably still in support of Kyrie. So we all know that Kyrie wasn't going to make the team. But out of all people who would replace Kawhi, who would have thought that it was going to be Derek White? Like, who would have thought that it was going to be Derek White? Now, you can't say you was looking at Derek White for defense because the Derek White is not the two-way player that Jaylen Brown is. Jaylen Brown could have replaced Kawhi and would have been the same two-way player that Kawhi could have brought. The same two-way talent that Kawhi is, Jaylen Brown would have brought that same talent to Team USA. Now I get it. They probably looked at it and say, well, we got enough scores. But you didn't look at it and say that when you brought Kawhi in. So now that Kawhi is out, you don't need another two-way player. You just need a defensive guy. I think you have enough defense to the point that it didn't matter whether you brought the reason you brought Derek White in, it didn't matter. I think you had enough defense. I honestly think you did. And you wasn't going to lose no defense if you brought Jaylen Brown in. You was going to get both, offense and defense. So, looking at the team and looking at the roster, you want to sacrifice anyway. These are the best of the best that's playing for Team USA. So everybody's got to sacrifice. It's not going to be one guy out there averaging 30. You're going to have a game where Steph go off. You're going to have a game where KD go off. You're going to have a game where LeBron go off. You're going to have a game where AD go off. You're going to have a game where Ant-Man go off. You're going to have a game where Booker go off. So it's not like one or two guys is going to be carrying this thing and they going to be the only one or two guys that's going off. Everybody's going to have to sacrifice. So, and that's going to, and that may mean, you step back on offense this game and play a little bit more defense. Or you just might have to play it by ear. Whoever hot, just hot. And you just contribute other ways. Because at the end of the day, the common goal is to win the gold. So, I'm not sure why the hell, it's a lot of politics, and I'm not sure why the hell you would leave Jaylen Brown off. And this ain't the only thing Jaylen Brown been snubbed from. Jaylen Brown's been snubbed from All-Star appearances. He still got his money, but still he's been snubbed from All-Star appearances. So it's crazy. I don't understand it. I'm more of the mindset, I don't give a damn what we got going on personally, but if you fit Team USA roster, your own Team USA roster. If we, I don't give a damn about you covering up Nike logos, this, that, and third. If you the end goal is to win gold. And if you are a guy that can help us win the gold, then you on the team. And he's better than Derek White. No knock on Derek White, not saying Derek White can't play, but Jaylen Brown is a better player than Derek White. Period. Ain't no other way around. He's better than Derek White. He's just a better player than Derek White. Period. Ain't no other way to cut it. Not talking bad about Derek White, but Jaylen Brown is a better player than Derek White. So I'm not sure what, all this politics, and to me that's hurting the game. You know what I mean? It's a lot of shit that's just politics that's just hurting the game. Like I said, I would get into it, but I ain't got that much time tonight to do it. But I get into a whole nother episode about politics and sports, not just the NBA, but in sports in general. But it's sad, man, to see a guy like Jaylen Brown get, he get, like I said, he getting his money, but it's sad to see how, politics can carry over to the media, and the media can make people think certain things without even watching the game. You know what I mean? Like I told you, I think Jaylen Brown, I ain't gonna say I know he's a smart guy. You know what I mean? The dude went to Cal. So he just one of them guys that when he see bullshit, that he just ain't gonna go along with it. You know what I mean? So I feel like when people when people like that, they get shitted on for being like that. You know what I mean? They don't go with the bullshit. You know what I mean? They call it out and they don't go along with it. So they get shitted on because of that, which is crazy. You know what I mean? It's a lot of that going on. Obvious bullshit that people go along with. The media put it out there like it ain't, but it really is. Hell, they go along with it just to get other people to go along with it. And a guy like Jaylen Brown, in my opinion, is one of them guys that don't go along with the bullshit. As you can see, he supported Kyrie because he knew there was some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They knew there was some bullshit. It was like, okay, it's so much other stuff that was worse than that, So that's why I was rooting for Kyrie. I was rooting for him to actually win the finals. I wasn't mad that Boston won it because I'm not a fan of either team. I watched the finals and I'm not a fan of either team. So if I had to choose, I was only choosing the Mavs to win because I wanted Kyrie to overcome how they tried to crucify the man. You know what I mean? They talked about this man for so long. I mean, they couldn't find nothing else to get off of Kyrie. They stayed on Kyrie for a week or two. Hard, stayed on Kyrie, tried to crucify him. They thought they was gonna send him to Dallas, and him and Luka wasn't gonna work. Now, when he first got to Dallas, it didn't work. But they figured it out. Jason Kidd being the coach over there, being a former point guard in the league, he figured out how to get two guys like Luka and Kyrie to play alongside each other without them stepping on each other's toes. So everybody thought that they were going to send Kyrie over there, and it wasn't going to work with Luka. And Dallas obviously was going to choose Luka over Kyrie, and they won't ship Kyrie somewhere else. They didn't think Kyrie would still be a Dallas Mav, let alone make it through the playoffs all the way to the NBA Finals. So that's why I was rooting for Kyrie to get back at the media. Because they talk so much shit about the man. They start bringing up stuff that ain't had nothing to do with basketball. Just to talk down on the man and crucify him. So all that was political. You know, dropping Kyrie, making him write it, apologize and all this. They even had um they even had if I'm not mistaken, I think they had a bunch of not a bunch, but they had some Jewish people sitting courtside and they had something on their shirts. This is when Kyrie was still in Brooklyn. Um and they made sure they put the camera. I can't remember exactly what was on the shirts of these guys, but it was basically they were sitting courtside and they had something on their shirts, and it was like 8, 9 of them sitting, side by side, courtside, and it was right at the time when Kyrie incident was going on. So, I felt like they put those people right there courtside just to get under Kyrie's skin. Like I said, they really tried to crucify the man. They really tried to break the dude. He didn't want to get the vaccine, which was his choice. He had a retweet. It wasn't even his tweet, it was a retweet. So that means somebody else had to tweet it for it to be retweetable for him to retweet. And it's the fact that he was the one that retweeted it. So he got dropped from Nike. And like I said, Jaylen Brown was in support of Kyrie during this situation. And so now they're using that against him to keep him and prevent him from being on Team USA, which is crazy as hell to me. Which was absolute crazy to me. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from guys like Drew Holiday, Tyrese Halliburton. I'm not taking nothing away from those guys. But Tyrese Halliburton is not better than Jaylen Brown. To me, he's not. If you had to pick between two players to fill up a spot on Team USA, I'm not taking Tyrese Halliburton over Jaylen Brown. That's just me. Now, if you're just looking at certain positions for what you need, certain skill sets for what you need, like if you needed just strictly a defender and you didn't need no more scoring, that's one thing. But that ain't the situation. Because if that was, then you would have went ahead and put a guy like Derrick White on the team over Kawhi anyway. So now that Kawhi is gone and you don't want to replace him with the same caliber guy, so why the hell would you even put a guy like Kyrie on the team from the get-go if he couldn't be replaced with the same type of guy? And like I said, I still don't know what the hell going on with Kyrie. I don't know, not Kyrie. I'm sorry, Kawhi. I'm not sure if he stepped away from Team USA or Team USA sent him home because of health concerns. But needless to say, he should have never been there. So, just looking at the whole, political thing, I mean, it's crazy, man. How they push the narrative on or try to push a bad narrative off on certain players and certain people. And, give them a bad image, give them a bad look, and this, that, and third. Um, they love you when you're doing something for them, but the minute you don't do something for them or you don't do what they want you to do, you know what I mean? It's like they put all this smut and shit talking on you and make you seem like the bad guy. I ain't never seen Jaylen Brown come off like he got an attitude problem, like he a cancer, like you know, I ain't never seen that. Now if he does or done that before, I ain't never seen it. Of course, I don't know the man personally. I'm only speaking on what I see basketball wise on the court. I'm not with the guy personally. I don't know him off the court. I just know of him what I see on the court. But to me, he ain't never really came off like that at all. Everybody had their times and moments where they go off, but that doesn't make everybody like that what they display in that moment. You know what I mean? But it's just crazy as hell how the politics is keeping, or has kept Jaylen Brown off the team. You know what I mean? I don't, Jaylen Brown, he probably declined to talk about it or whatever. And, he'll probably go in a little deeper about it later on at some point if he chooses to. But to me, the whole thing is political. It's crazy as hell how he got snubbed off of that. But Team USA basketball, man, I think, like I said at the beginning, I think this could be really the time and chance that a guy like Ant-Man could put himself on another level. Because if he plays this summer with Team USA basketball like he played this season with the Minnesota Timberwolves, that will put him on another level. That will put more eyes on Ant-Man that ain't already on him. I'm not sure why eyes wasn't on him, and seeing what he did, this season and in the postseason. And I think he only gonna get better. So I mean, I'm not sure if you look at Team USA, who would be the number one option? Would it be an Ant-Man? Would it be a Steph? Would it be a KD? Like, which one of those guys would you consider the number one option on that team? Like I said, it's gonna be a lot of sacrificing because you got the best of the best on the team from the league. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like you're gonna get one guy that averaging 35 a night. You know what I mean? So and it's gonna be some tough games. You got France. They or Canada. They beat obviously they beat Canada exhibition. So I think they just need to play tougher. You know what I mean? I think that's exactly what I think they need to do. Because that bullshit Dylan Brooks did. If he did that to the right one, he would have got checked. You know what I mean? Walking in front of guys as they doing interviews. He walked in front of Devin Booker, and I seen a clip where he walked in front of Ant-Man as they were doing interviews, post-game interviews. And he just walked right in front of the while they talking. You can clearly see him on camera, walking in front of the camera during the middle of the interview session or whatever. But I think they need to. I mean, it's just Dylan Brooks being a troll, trying to find some way to stay relevant in the world of basketball. You know what I mean? Because he's the villain. That's what he's known for. So he got to do villain shit. He got to keep doing it to live up to the villain name. But I think the right one would have checked him. I'm not sure who that one would have been. You seen Ant-Man give him that look. You know what I mean? He gave, and shout out to Ant. He had ATL in as well. So, you know what I mean? He gave him that look like, I will, but I ain't gonna do it now. But don't do that shit again. That's the kind of look he gave him. But somebody had, shit like that. You gotta check shit like that. I don't give a damn if it is Team USA. You don't walk in front of my interview session like you don't know what the hell you doing. Yeah, you check shit like that. We'll deal with the consequences of that later. That's just the tone setter. If that's me, that's the tone setter. That's how we're gonna start the tournament. Yeah, I'm setting the tone with that. I'm checking him. What they gonna do? What the hell they gonna do? Suspend me. And I'm not saying I'm go out there and put the man in the hospital, but I'm just gonna check him and let him know, like, nah, bro, you don't do that shit. That's some shit you don't do. So I'm just if I'm somebody on the team and that had to happen to me while I'm getting interviewed or whatever, I'm pausing the interview and I'm gonna check this dude. Even if we done at the end of the interview, you know what I mean? You still don't walk in front of my shit like you don't know what the hell you're doing. So I think that's just Dylan Brooks being Dylan Brooks, trying to live up to the villain name. That's all, because he walk in front of the right one will check his ass. But Team USA, like I said, they got to do something with MB. He can't be out there fouling out like that. So I think they got a good chance to win gold. You know what I mean? If you look at France, with Rudy Gobert and Victor Wembanyama, then you got two twin towers down there. So I'm not sure what the guard play for France look like. But when you got Victor and Rudy Gobert down there, I'm willing to bet that you're gonna be shooting. You're gonna be taking a lot of jump shots. Um, you're gonna be spacing the floor out, and even spacing the floor out against them two. It's like them two cover so much ground. It's like Victor Wembanyama by himself cover a lot of ground. So now you got another guy like Rudy Gobert that can cover ground. It's not like Rudy is the only big there. You got two. So you know what I mean. I'm not like I said. I'm not sure. I don't have the advantage in the paint. Even with Bam, even with AD, even with KD, even with Embiid, you know what I mean. I don't see where you have a clear advantage. You know what I mean. You may have an advantage in certain aspects, but those two, Gobert and Victor Wembanyama, that's a lot of ground that's going to be covered. You know, like I said, Victor Wembanyama by himself can cover a lot of ground. Now he has Rudy Gobert as well. That's going to be a lot of ground that they can cover in the paint in that mid range area. I think that's just where you're going to have to get a lot of ball movement going. You're going to have to get a lot of cuts. You're going to have to do something to occupy those two. And you have to knock down some shots. Because if you're not knocking down your shots, they really going to cover ground because they're not going to respect your shoot. But, you know, luckily for Team USA, they have guys that can knock down shots. You know, everybody out there basically can knock down shots, even if you go all the way down to Bam. You know, I'm not saying Bam is a 3-point specialist, but Bam is capable of knocking down some mid range if he has to. You know, so you know you got shooters. You just got to use that to your advantage. You got to knock down your shots. You got to get one of those two, if not both of those, and it's going to be hard to get both. But you got to get that team in some foul trouble. So you got to get one of those guys out of there, and you got to hope that Embiid ain't fouling and get benched early because of foul trouble or fouling out of the game when there's still tons of time left. You got to hope that doesn't happen if you Team USA pertaining to Embiid. But I think they'll get it together. I think that was just an exhibition. You got everybody coming to play together that hadn't played together before, and now they playing on a worldwide stage. So I think playing against Canada, the exhibition, that was just a warm up to see where they were chemistry wise. I expect adjustments to be made. Adjustments will be made, so I'm expecting that to happen, and I'm expecting them to come close to possibly go down and win gold. You know what I mean? With this team put together, they comparing this to. I seen guys comparing this team to the Dream Team. So if you got a team that USA team put together that's being compared to the Dream Team, your ass better win gold. You know, you better be dominating your competition, and your ass better be winning gold if you get them drawing Dream Team comparisons. So yeah, Team USA, that's what they should be doing. You know what I mean? They got the players to do it. There's no excuse. You know, they sent one guy, or like I said, I hate to keep bringing up Kawhi, but they sent him home maybe due to injuries. But everybody else should be good to go. You know, I think they got a mixture of the type of players they need. They got shooters, they got shot creators, they got playmakers, they have defenders. So they got a mix of everything. So they don't really necessarily have to have one particular starting lineup. You know, they got various lineups they can roll out there depending on who they playing. I don't think it's just one particular lineup that you have to go with or one particular lineup. They got like I said, they got shooters, they got creators, they got defenders, they got athleticism all over the place. They got speed, they can get up and down the court, they got floor spacing. They got razzle dazzle guys that can break you down. They got everything, you know. So there's really various lineups that you can put out there, you know. Like I said, depending on who you're playing. But yeah, I'm expecting them to get to the championship and win gold. Of course, I mean Team USA, you want them to win gold every year that they put together Team USA. But it ain't always like that. International competition is getting better. As you know, a lot of players, international players, are in the NBA now, and they respectably playing for their country. So, like I said before, man, if you run down your top 10 list, half of them are international players. And I understand that they're not all playing on the same team. They playing on different teams because they're not all from the same country. So they playing on different teams representing their countries respectively. But international competition is getting harder. You know, like I said, if you run down the top 10 list in the NBA, half of that top 10 is the international players. You know, and that's not even counting the international guys that's just getting to the league that you already know in a couple years is going to be in the top 10. Like Victor Wembanyama, he's not in your top 10 yet, but based off of what you've seen in him in his rookie season, it's just a matter of time before he be there. So, and then you got the guys that's there now. You still got to look at the longevity of them and how long they're still going to be in the top 10 and, you know, in the MVP competition. In the MVP conversation, you know, so international players getting tougher. They bringing that over to the NBA, and as you can see, you got international guys winning MVPs now. You got international guys that can be the face of the league. You know, I don't think the NBA wants that international player. They want the NBA to be global, but they don't want an international player to be the face. I don't think. But it's just how good the competition is right now, as far as the international players and catching up to NBA players. So you know, so yeah, man, I expect adjustments to be made. You know, I expect nothing shorter than gold. You know, with this team right here, it's a damn good squad. Like I said, they got a lot of versatility. So I'm expecting nothing, you know, less than a gold medal for this Team USA basketball. And like I said, as far as the Jaylen Brown situation is concerned, man, that's just a bunch of politics that really shouldn't even come into play. When you got a bigger end goal, it's crazy as hell that that's got to, you know, play out like that. And don't get me wrong, he still got paid, he still got his money, but that was well deserved anyway. So I'm not even including that and talking about that because he got that anyway, and it was well deserved anyway. But all the other shit is what I'm talking about. So, like I said, man, that's I ain't gonna hold y'all time up, man. It's just a couple of thoughts about Team USA basketball I wanted to get off. You know, I'll be back with a new episode Monday. So like I said, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell on YouTube, so you can get notified when I drop new content. You can go to my social media platforms and follow me over there on Twitter or X, whichever one you call it, at Damn U2 Sports Talk. You can follow me on IG at Damn_U2_Sports Talk. Or if you want to follow my personal page on IG at Ralph_Sneaks. Those are where you can find me on social media. Until the next episode, man, y'all be safe, enjoy your weekend, and be blessed.